returning to the game. Já falei, velho, já tem plot. Acho que aqui não tem muito mais que eu queira fazer. Vou ver se a ponte abaixou. Realmente não sei o que concluir. Eu queria descobrir a senha do quadrado. Se eu não conseguir esses R$10 até 9 horas. Até 8, né? Não quero deixar até 9. Vou vender alguma coisa cara que eu tenho. Não quero vender a 12. Pode ser útil, não sei. Deixa eu ver uma coisa. Into the flow like that. Vou carregar hoje. My girlfriend's girlfriend. Perdi alguma coisa? Mata-mata. Ué. Realmente eu não sei se tem mais nada aqui. Eu quero vender os itens. Isso é obviamente importante. Recado, cara.
The note is written with a blue. Someone has scribbled, S. I can't believe the off-site copy is still here. The illiterate ginger kid keeps stealing. You'll find the filament memory with the off-site copy in the frozen ice cream maker. Please take it home, ASAP. It's important. I'd do it myself if I lived in a civilized place with a freezer. Take care. Suliswaf.
Mas ainda não achei um jeito de abrir o freezer, né? Deixar isso aqui. Esse lixo aí deu quanto vale essa merda? Ok.
A cockatoo is a parrot with an. This book.
Já. Bom. Essa mulher não vai falar.
Right. What?
She gives you a.
Everything's still cool here.
Opa! Ué. Opa, tiraram.
A couple of indicator lights are missing from this control panel. Loose wires dangle from the now vacant holes. In the middle is a lever. Beneath it, a small metal plaque. You grab the handle and pull the lever up. As soon as the metal connects against the contact pins, you hear a loud clunk. The water lock starts moving.
Pronto, vai ficar aí em cima. Para os caras não saírem ainda. Mas ali vai poder passar. Caramba, rapaz, que coisa pra caralho. Não, agora.
Okay, if we ever need to get to the coast, then this is the way. But please, contain your wanderlust fun.
Focus on one thing. Achieve it, then the next, he thinks. That's the task.
Pô, mas realmente não tem o que fazer aqui. Tudo, eu acho que vai ser por lá. Marido, acesse o porto. Ah, o porto é aqui, né? Não é lá. Que é Doppel? Tem diferença, sei lá. Uma nova área, meu irmão. Yes! Ok, falta pouco para eu pagar. A única crítica que eu tenho a esse jogo seria ao fato dessa coisa de dormir realmente. Não acho legal. Quer dizer, até acho, mas poderia ter o simples fato de você conseguir dormir naqueles quartos que eu achei abandonados e tal. Tipo, você acordar com sua moral debilitada, algo assim. Isso você tem que pagar, obrigatório, acho meu pai. Como o jogo falou que tem uma maneira de encontrar quarto grátis, eu irei procurá-la com afinco. Deixar na mão. Grande ferramenta. A regra dos jogos point and click é essa. O jogo tem. Ufa! Ok. O jogo tem um pé de cabra. Ele é bom. This one. Caralho, cara, uma região completamente nova.
There's no way to listen to the tape without a working tape player. But even just holding the tape makes you feel a little sad.
Porra.
Rust peels off the bent iron posts with a swing. The wind whistles through the skeleton.
In this yard?
He's assessing the situation. How long ago was it abandoned?
Someone thought they could have a summer house in a bloc obscure for cheap. It didn't work out. They abandoned it about a decade ago. Practically, it's not an official term in any way, but look around. No sewage, broken power lines, crime, drunks. Life is tough in the blocks. It's no place to build a summer house. Yes, and you picked it up as part of the Jamrock Shuffle.
It's not meant as nagging, just an observation.
We should move. I don't think we will solve the murder with forays into the urban hinterland.
Calma, rapaz, calma. Qual é o nome dele mesmo? Esqueci já, puta que pariu.
Yes?
Kim. Calma, Kim, calma. More things will show up. Quando você menos pensa. Oh, rapaz. Olha ele aqui, olha, provavelmente. Puxa, é isso? Yes! Ah, não, eu não sei se é isso, mas é que tinha aparecido. Ok. Para não. Talvez seja isso, sei lá. Cadê? Vou investigar aqui no carro.
A banged-up motor carriage lies half submerged in the icy water, slowly sinking into the Insulindian Ocean. Only the cabin top, rear wheels, and the engine remain visible. It must be cold and lonely down there in the icy water. Remember the tire tracks in Martinez? This is
It appears to be so. I agree. We should definitely investigate.
You get a sudden sinking feeling. Stomach acid comes up as you look at the motor carriage in the deep, dark, cold water. Why the doom and gloom? It's just a sunken motor carriage. Some motor carriages are bound to end up in the sea. The motor carriage is properly stuck in the ice. Getting it out would require a team of specialists. Rust, moss, and sea life have already claimed it for themselves and initiated a slow decomposition process. The logo is too deep in the murky water. You can't make it out, but you do see a monkfish float by.
What? Caralho, tamboril, monkfish.
The ice hasn't closed around the vehicle yet. My guess is it's been here since last Saturday or Sunday.
The estimate is correct. The incident probably occurred on Sunday evening.
Que porra é essa? Será que a mulher tá morta aí? Por que fugiu da cena do crime? Na verdade, porque ela saiu do bar, bateu na parada, fugiu pra cá, se explodiu. Que loucura.
Your mocking tone finds no response, but the motion of the waves.
Yes. Clearly, this is a triumph. I'd say the vehicle has been here since last Saturday or Sunday. Let's wait for the low tide and see what's inside.
Great idea. Then we can get the things inside. The joyrider must have left something good inside. Guns, papers, maybe a cool jacket. A joyrider jacket.
I don't know. An hour or two, tops?
Ok. Não, cara, é obrigatório pedir esses números.
As you sit down in the old, rusty playground, the world around you, nothing but the sound of seagulls high above in the sky, echoing like distant laughter. Ice cracks around the blue motor carriage in the sea. The tune on your lips forms a strange yet undeniably beautiful contrast. The lieutenant gives you a quick glance, then, still looking straight ahead, he joins you with a higher pitched and slightly more melodic trill. Two birds on a wire, whistling by the seaside, looking at the water and the sunken car. The clouds pass in the sky, and the shadow of the swing moves like the hour hand on a timepiece. Looks like this might take a while. Time to present a good topic for discussion.
What?
I believe it's following a pattern set millions of years ago by cosmic forces. But I suppose it could move quicker, yes?
Clouds on the horizon grow darker, and the shadow of the swing set keeps climbing. You hear the distant rumble of the city. 30 minutes pass.
Luckily, I am already a member of an independent organization, and therefore do not have to choose between a rock and a hard place.
Your voice echoes on the water, strange and out of place in the environment. 30 more minutes pass.
Detective, I've been able to make out the mark ever since we arrived.
Fela
I
da
find it odd that you haven't. It is a simple and rugged machine, favored by working men, government offices, firefighters, animal control people, you know, those kinds of people. Yes, 41. What do you think it stands for?
It's as if he knows what it stands for, but wants you to say it. Does he know something about that speed racer?
da What?
A precinct, yes. A police precinct. Precinct 41, your precinct.
A massive pit opens up in your stomach, and the most terrible feeling comes over you. You feel like you're about to faint and fall off the... No. Just nope. Say no to this, Harry.
É isso mesmo.
I'm afraid so, yes. It looks like you started in front of the whirling, jumped over the canal, and then drove your vehicle in the sea right here.
The lieutenant adjusts his glass. There is also a fourth thing you've lost. More precious than the gun, the badge, and the motor carriage combined.
Of whom? I don't think so.
Probably. Try definitely.
You can still whistle. Besides, the night is always darkest before the dawn. Detective, we don't. A rescue operation really isn't viable at this point. I'm afraid it will have to be there like that for many years. Look at it. Parts of it might be salvageable, but overall, this machine is a write-off. That is very unlikely. All the electrics are toast. That goes for the electromagnetic steering and brake systems as well. You'd be lucky to find one undamaged component in there. In a few months, there will be nothing but rust left of this vehicle. Well, not cheaper. This motor carriage costs 40,000 real. But in the long run, it still makes more sense to buy a new machine than try to refurbish this. Let's face it, this is a substantial loss to your district's budget. I mean, my station only has 4 other vehicles in addition to my kinema.
This was 20% of the station's...
People are more valuable than machines. Training a police officer is even more costly.
Let's go. 2 fucking hours here.
Yes, let's go take a look.
Caralho, porra. Oh. Oh. Opa, guarda isso. Bora dar uma olhada, mas eu gostei já do destino. Graças a Jeová. Yahweh. Ué? What? Ah, okay.
A police badge on which you see the photo of a man. You. Some seaweed is stuck to the back.
At least something good came out of all this.
Encased between 2 durable plastic sheets is a bluish card with lines of information and a watermark in the shape of the street grid of Revachol West. You see a photo, a name, a rank, a document number, the date of issue, and in the lower right corner, your precinct.
Alright. Harry Dubois.
Harrier Dubois. It suits you.
Harrier.
I'm going to call you Harry, since it's short for Harrier.
What the hell is this?
It's a wartime name. Revolutionary. The kind mothers give their sons during troubled times, like Undying or Boxer or Ironhide.
It's meant to keep you safe.
Aceitar.
Pleased to make your acquaintance, Harrier Dubois.
The badge in your hands shines as you rotate it, catching light. You see lines of information. The man keeps winking at you with his green-gray eyes. The photo is old, no doubt about that. But the badge is new. You used an old photo for a new badge. 8, maybe 10 years. The guy in the picture is rather good looking. He's got a nice haircut and is distinctly lacking in massive sideburns. What do you think? His face is already contorted by the expression, although it looks less grotesque on him than it does on you now. The badge in your hand shines as you rotate it, catching light. You see lines of information on it, and a shining watermark.
Lieutenant W. Freighter.
W. Freighter.
The lieutenant is a rank above sergeant and below captain. It's the highest rank in the RCM that still does field work. I am a lieutenant. The title of Freighter is added to your rank when you decline a promotion to a higher rank. In your case, captain. You have declined twice, thus you're W. Freighter. There are many reasons one would do this. The rank above you in your precinct's décomptage might be taken, or sometimes promoted officers do not want to replace their superiors out of respect. And sometimes they just prefer the type of police work available to their current rank, in your case, lieutenant. Décomptage is the hierarchical system employed by the Revachol citizens' militia. It means counting down to twos.
The countdown is modeled after the dual leadership system employed by the left during the revolution, which in turn was developed by last century experimental psychologists in the University of Königstein.
The lowest rank is junior officer, usually teenagers. Then there are the patrol officers, then sergeants, lieutenants, and then a captain. That's basically it, except for a few kings. Kings like satellite officers and the additionally a freighter rank I already explained.
The long and short of it is, you're his superior.
No, I've been putting up with you because despite an unconventional approach, you are doing good police work.
Nice guy.
It matters more than driving your motor carriage into the sea. And now we've even found your badge.
He trusts you, for now. Try not to spoil it. Such a small yet precious thing. Expensive paper caught between thick plastic, like a fly in amber. It reads.
That's just the serial number. Revachol, Jamrock, Precinct 41, with some numbers thrown in there for good measure.
The numbers are not there for good measure. They have an administrative purpose, one that's unfortunately been erased from your memory.
4 months ago. I'm guessing that's when you were promoted to the rank of Lieutenant W. Freighter. A new badge usually comes with a new rank. You seem to have been doing well then.
The pain in your chest tells you you were working yourself to death to earn that rank. The case created a lot of edge you have to take off. The death march really gets us going. You're pretty sure you weren't doing well, but better? Probably yes. A lot can happen in 4 months, especially in winter. The winters are never easy on you.
Yes, it's the designation of your precinct. 41, like mine says 57. The 57th is mostly industrial harbor, a lot of asphalt. The 41st is... It's a tough station to work in. You have all of Jamrock to cover. That district should have 3 precincts, but money is what it is. But then again, it's a legendary district, and a hell of a station too. It must be an honor and a curse to work with people like Price, McCoy, Berdiaeva.
Tem que abrir embaixo, depois provavelmente vai abrir em cima dos portões, ou entrada furtiva. Não sei se a gente vai chegar aí nessa delegacia não. Ou no final, né? Terminar aqui.
Roberts, Feuerbach, Dimitri. Suddenly, names from your decomptage flash in your forebrain.
Esse foi do Feuerbach. Dimitri.
The badge in your hand shines as you rotate it, catching light. You see lines of information on it, and a shining watermark.
Beautiful. Mais feito, meu irmão. Feito. E aí? Tá que pariu. Quero pôr em conceitualização. Tô com 6, velho. Tô gostando desses aqui. Eu sabia que ia gostar mais desses. Vou botar mais punição. Enciclopédia, retórica. Ou será que eu compro mais um? Acho que eu vou destravar mais um dessa vez. E vou. Guilherme, Demion. Vou usar o crítica. Bueno, tipo de celebridade. Tá, bora dar uma lida. Chamas voo. Detetive de Revachol, caiu, oceanos solanos. O nome traz de nome nenhum deles familiares. Parece real, meu nome está errado. Você sente como uma criança olhando para cima da geladeira. Turvan, a companhia da Márcia, jogos mundiais 34. Você quase pode ver a sua mão esticando até eles. Arranha os cantos, veja se soltam. Essa parece ser a mais importante das reflexões. Aquela. Pensar neles, eu gosto. Narrativamente parece legal. Parece que o objetivo desse jogo é a vitória. Você derrota todas as frentes, né? Vitória no amor. Não posso lutar você no bicho, então que. Porra, isso é bom também. Morreu. Porra, todos são interessantes pra caralho. Seja... Não, esse aqui eu não vou fazer, se foda. Esse aqui eu não vou fazer. Não vou fazer isso também. Ah, eu gosto disso também. Putz. Ó, tô bem. Esse Guilherme de Milhão. Que jamais vi. Suicídio de Krasmazov. Suicídio de Krasmazov. Gosto desse. Guilherme de Milhão. O outro não ganha nada. Eu acho que vai vir uma coisa boa. Tem nenhum bônus, cara. Esse aqui vai dar menos um. Dá menos um. 4 horas. E o outro. Esse de Krasmazov. Menos um de retórica. Mas como você está pensando, eu não sei, estou bem na dúvida aí entre esses. Eu acho que os próximos que eu vou abrir, eu vou pegar esses. Gosto disso, pode. É mais. Ué. Tô com essa parada na mão. Ah. Ok. Pô. Quem dera, hein? Oh. Mon ami. Por enquanto, bora ficar com isso. Ah, look at this man. O cara tá muito estiloso. Ué? Tem. Ou não, isso aqui. Ai, what the fuck? Ah, foi. Vamos deixar essa. Ok. Esses cartões são só para vender, então. Parece que não tem uma utilidade futura. Meu Deus, como tá acontecendo? Por enquanto, ninguém, né? Posso falar?
The worn and beaten wooden planks of
We can sit on benches after we've...
You can revisit the bench if you.
Não, eu devo passar tempo. Parece que eu tô realmente perdendo tempo. Caraca, peraí. Oh my gosh. Pra caralho. Calma. Caralho, uma coisa pra cá. Tá, opa. Agora começar por aqui. Vai dar. Esse aqui não faz nada ainda. Eu acho que isso aqui é só coisa de edição. Virar ultra. Olha o estilo desse ano.
Hi, officer.
Aí, olha, cara. Uma espada.
Anything I can help you with? A fishing village on the seashore. This place doesn't really have a name. It's sometimes called Elysium. The sign on the street leading here is illegible. Has been since they built this place.
You've graduated to Lawbringer?
Men with authority have their quirks. Comes with never being second-guessed. So what brings you here, Lawbringer? The name is Lillian. People call me Netpicker. I think I have time for questions. And that was actually the second one.
Indeed, you're always confused as to your whereabouts.
Unfortunately, the factory sold this one with a 3-year warranty instead of a story. It's to intimidate folks, mostly. Not really. I know some basic moves, and I know it sure as hell beats a knife when you're in a tough spot. It's a regular mass-produced sword, like a shovel or an axe. Nothing fancy. Just, from time to time, people need a lesson in respect. That's just the way it is. Back in the day, I caught the eyes of many men. And believe me, men need a lesson in manners from time to time. What makes you think we haven't? The truth is that almost everyone in this life is scared and tired and stupid and too dull for that. That goes for men too. But they put on an act for us. Pretend like everything's good and living in shit doesn't bother them. Like anyone falls for that. No one wants to talk about how frightened they are. But only frightened people are really dangerous. And plenty of them are dangerous. No, I'm afraid not. Tempting to confiscate the blade I used to keep these animals in check. It would put me in an early grave. Some went to patch their wounds, their lesson learned. Others were more thick-headed. And one of them, I ended up marrying. Guess I enjoyed the way he bled.
If it is, then why the melancholy?
Gone. To the waves. The sea took him. It was a long time ago. He didn't respect the sea. Went out there drunk like a skunk, and sure enough, one day the boat was found floating empty. A bloated corpse turned up 2 weeks later. Now, before you tell me how sorry you are for my loss, know that it was 4 years ago, and I've moved on. There's only so much mourning you can do for a drunk with sinewy muscles.
She really likes those muscles, though. It's in the way she pronounces sinewy.
Us working folk don't have the luxury to be bedsick with melancholy. I buried him, mourned for an appropriate amount of time, and went on. Life didn't really change that much for me and the kids.
This is neither a touchy nor a very interesting topic for her. She looks like she's ready to go on a date with another, better, drunk. Ask her. Both of you could need some action.
Nossa, pior que... Ok, mas essa aqui é uma que dá pra sair. Maybe one day.
Sure is. The sun, I call her, coated with a fresh layer of tar just yesterday. It'll take some time for it to dry, assuming the sunny days continue. Hi. Sunny days. You got a problem with that?
No, man. We have no quarrel with sunny days.
Good. It would have been bad news had it turned out it wasn't a sunny day. Bad news for the skiff, bad news for the net.
There's a moment's silence. She looks at the slushy snow melt on the yellow belly of the boat.
In time, when the sea turns and the winds settle, she will be ready.
My prediction, it will be at least 2 days.
Like I said, fish mostly. Sail the waves, take care of the kids, pick nets. Right now I'm tarring a little skiff. Sometimes I also walk to the beach to see what the sea has given up. The sea is full of surprises.
Keep it professional, man. Don't make it sound like you're hitting on her.
Wood, pieces of glass. Every once in a while we see dead bodies. Human, animal, fish, other odd sea creatures. A mine washed ashore once. Bottles, drugs also. Lost cargo in general. Most of the time it's just wood and glass.
All right. Major choice moment. You only get to ask one thing. It would be weird to say them all. Choose wisely.
Well, you're barking under the wrong tree then, officer. I have no interest in floaters. Seen enough of them in my life already. Let's see. Who are you looking for? I don't think I know what these are. Care to elaborate? Aha! Like snowmen. 2 odd guys have been wandering around here, nose in sand, talking nonsense about snowmen and the like. I don't really know. Further down the peninsula, I guess. I mean, that's where they were heading. Who else are you looking for besides snowmen? Yeah, I'm not really looking for that anymore. Not much into the middle class ones either. Could do with some... Wish I could help you with that, but I haven't seen your working class husband. Maybe I can help you find someone else. Well, how can I assist you then, officer?
Zero. Yeah, they're there. I gotta go see you.
You're not sure about the melody, but it might be South Samaran, possibly Sigayan, also known as the Apricot Suzunti.
Welcome to the fishing village. Please lean in closer. I have cataracts. Oh, welcome, police officer. We don't cause any trouble around here. And we don't want any trouble either.
We are not here to cause any trouble, madame.
Oh, of course. Last time we saw you around here was 12 years ago. You also came to take care of trouble then. Wish you did. But still, in Martinez, you're considered an ill omen. No, not you personally. I meant the RCM. Some of the men got into a fight. One of them killed another. Locked himself. He was brooding. Needed some help opening the door. You got it open for him and took him to think about what he'd done in a more secluded place. Somewhere more quiet.
She says it as if he was on some kind of spiritual retreat.
Oh, the usual. Dark tidings. Black hound.
That's you, all right. A black hound licking your own heels.
Maybe they are afraid because you're an ill omen. But you're still welcome here. As long as men with guns aren't chasing you. And maybe even then. Because that's the kind of fishing village we've built. I'm sorry there's not a lot of room to park the motor carriage. And not a lot of houses. Or a lot of people. My kids are long gone. Searching for treasure. So are others. Ah, look at me ramble on. What brings you to us? Stay? That said, if lodgings is what you're looking for, I've got a free room in the shack. I won't charge you for it. Take it as a gesture of goodwill from the village to the RCM. That's exactly how they get ya. That's why we built our own cinder block houses on the seaside. So we don't have to give money to those crooks. They might not look like much, but they are... Don't make an old woman regret opening her house to the police.
Well, if you are not in the hostel in the morning, I'll know where to find you. Here, in a shop.
Just us. It's barely a village anymore. We almost don't exist. This is pretty much a non-place. A gap. A blank spot on the map. Just a cluster of nameless shacks on a nameless street.
The place is so pornographically poor, it's not even funny.
Não fala isso, né? Meu Deus.
Well, there's Lillian and her kids. A few new folks live in the house to the east. But they are away right now. And then there's the drunks. Not a pretty sight, but there's little we can do about it. Lillian is tough. Tougher than the men here at least. If it wasn't for her and the kids, this place wouldn't have a spark of life left. Sooner or later, you'll see for yourself. Don't have to look long to find these guys. Over there, you can find more of the same. Shacks and trees growing wild. That's the pox. An old military hospital and its surroundings. Or it used to be, during the time of the suzerain. After the war, it was turned into a goodwill hospital for shell-shock veterans and folks looking for some quiet in the old sanatorium gardens. Now the area is crisscrossed with nameless streets and makeshift cinderblock houses, shacks as far as the eye can see. The goodwill ran out. The staff left and the place was shut down. It's long gone by now.
Caralho. Peraí. Esse bloco gigante, que porra é essa? Ah, ok. Aí a ponte aqui, não é isso? Vira ok, aqui é o porto. Aqui é aquele lugar. Aqui é a lojinha, né? Não, aqui é a biblioteca. Aqui é a loja. Não sei o que é isso aqui. Que isso não existe. Aqui é... isso caiu, né? Sei lá. Aqui é a ponte. As barracas do pescador são aqui. Porque esse mapa é bem antigo, né? Tem uma igreja ainda. Tem mais uma coisa pra trás. Um parque. Cara, que porra é essa?
Here, for you, no officer. The only money we have here.
Under carts, boats, and little boxes, it's not hard to find. She nods, rinsing another piece of cloth.
Not much. There's the abandoned church, the DeLorean Church of Humanity. It's been there since before my time, even. Some things just don't fly, officer. Look around. Who'd go to church here? They built it 300 years ago. Must have been nicer then.
So, they don't hold services there anymore? The Ecclesiastes?
No, we've tried, but things just keep happening. Crime, accidents, other things. The place never stays open. It's a pity. It used to be such a nice church.
What else is in the coast?
Before you get to the church, there's some ruins, an apartment complex, or some kind of electrical plant. Run-down bunch of houses, empty. Of note, the old fish market up on the boardwalk, but it's closed. No one. That's why it's closed. Now, what catch we do bring in goes straight into a lorry for the Delta or somewhere else. What? You're one of those real estate people with big plans. Used to be a supply depot, we think, sending goods and ammo across the bay. It's jammed shut though. We tried to get in, see if there was anything to sell or scavenge, but it's impossible. And now you know everything there is to know about me. No one. Just an old washerwoman. Mother called me Isabel, if that's what you're asking. And my married name is Sadie. Now it's your turn, Mr. Quite a handle you got there. So many titles. One of them double.
The door has seen better.
I'll wait outside to give you some time and privacy to check out your new living arrangements. But just so you know, after we are done with the day, I'll still be staying in the Whirling in Rags for the night. We'll meet in front of the...
The key turns with a satisfying click. You can enter the shop.
Beautiful, beautiful. There it is. There it is. Khrushchev. Olha que bonito. Nossa, olha o estilo, mano. Coloquei mais um de longe, cara. Isso aqui era o quê? Pô, é legal isso também. Deixa isso por enquanto. Mais bem.
An old mirror hangs on the wall. On the table, you see a bowl of water, a rough soap, and next to it, a small hand mirror. The water reflects back a vague image of your face. Nose bulbous and red, hair unkempt.
Jamais. Nunca na universo.
The bed is comforting, if a bit run down. Still,
Ok. Top. Top. Free house. Bora aqui. Acho que não salvou, né? Então salvamento rápido aqui. Isso. Muy bueno. A cara dele. Vou ali. Ok. Uou. Vou bem com a criança em casa. Hello, kid.
Hello, mister.
she clutches a small stuffed animal. Occasionally, she twirls it around.
Oh, I had gloves. Very big ones.
Where did you get these gloves?
Found them when Lemmy and I were playing hide and seek.
Yeah.
In an empty house. Where no one lives.
She doesn't want you to think she stole them.
I hid them. The twins were gonna take them. They're stupid.
We are going to need those gloves. It's for important police business.
Oh. They're in my sandcastle. Behind our house. Under the sand. You can break the castle. Yes! I am! Little Lily. You know my mom? That's nice. My mom is great. She's never angry or anything. It's a grouse!
You might be able to get on God's good side if you replace the broken screwer you almost certainly broke.
Sure. I mean, you already took it. I don't like it anyway. It's Lammy! He's my friend. Sort of. Like...
Lambie is a stuffed lamb that, admittedly, has seen better days.
Lammy usually doesn't like strangers. But you're also fuzzy, like Lammy. Bye!
Vai. Porra, essa guria é fofinha, cara. Escolhida do inferno, caralho lá.
The scruffy-haired little boy kicks a stone. He can't be more than 5 years old. The other one looks indistinguishable from him. He watches his brother kick the stone with his tongue lolling out of his mouth. This one doesn't say anything, kicking the concrete with his worn-out
Lily's our mum.
The stone kicker laughs suddenly. His head is too large for his shoulders. The other one laughs as well. Wow, so intellectually stimulating.
Yes. Yes.
It doesn't look like he knows what that means. The stone-kicking one becomes frantic all of a sudden, as if
He looks just like me.
the boy doesn't answer. His brother throws another rock. Both of their hair is covered in some kind of dirt.
You're bad with kids. Maybe I am. Now, how about some actual police work? We are not getting anything here.
stupid.
Que é isso? Ah, sim. Peraí, eu... Não é isso, olha. Teoricamente eu continuo olhando, né? Ah, ele volta pra parede. Ok. Então... Vou ter que dar, né? Outra vez. Ué? Caralho. Ah, não, é essa merda. Peraí. Dá uma olhada aqui. Caralho, tem mais de tudo. Ah, não. Lá. E aí? É isso, cara. Tudo bem. Não aceita isso. Você é louco, velho. Eu tava achando um saco de arrancar dinheiro todo dia.
The noxious odor emanating from the drunken man is strong and familiar.
Don't you call her? Yeah! Don't call Abigail!
Hello.
You really don't have to. Besides, he won't understand you anyway.
Abigail! Oh, Abigail!
Abigail! Don't you know what you have done? Abigail! Oh. Jonathan! This is Miriam.
Abigail! Don't you fucking call Abigail!
You're not going to get anything out of this guy. He's too drunk. Never thought you'd see such a thing in your life. But this guy's a little too drunk. He snorts and beckons you to lean in closer. He waves his hand as if shooing you away.
Don't call Abigail!
The man hiccups, then mumbles something.
There's no use in yelling at drunks.
The drunk man starts coughing. He does not sound well at all.
Don't you fucking call her! Don't call!
There was little chance he'd be a reliable.
Com certeza. Simbora.
Hey, tequila! Good to see you. How's business? How's the whole reality situation treating you? So what's happening? Yeah, Tequila Sunset. How are the, high concept, reality-based adventures?
He says it like it's obviously your name. Like you call someone Billy Brunel or leader of the 4th Street gang. Good. These people know your true name. Looks like it has preceded you, Mr. Sunset. More on that later.
Not this again.
Only echoes remaining of human faces? That's a pretty good apocalypse. I wouldn't mind if it came down to that. Things aren't going super well for Idiot Doom Spiral either. Haven't found those keys yet, haven't won that great piece of ass back. No word from my business buddies.
Peraí, calma. Mineração.
Idiot doom spiral, huh? This is bound to be a good, high-concept conversation. At last.
It's you. We've met before.
No, you sure don't.
Aha. Do you want to know how Tequila Sunset came to be?
Tequila. Tequila Sunset. Something ominous.
Let me take a sip to moisten up my chords. Tequila Sunset rolled into Martinez last Friday. And by Tequila Sunset, I mean you. The man, the myth. Hey, let's not jump ahead of ourselves. This is your story. Stop interrupting. You got here on Friday to solve a case, hoping to be the early bird who gets the worm. And by the worm, I mean the buzz. Because as far as I know, all you did was get pissed drunk. Word on the street is you went around the local hostel telling people that you're a police officer, and that it would be really fucked up if you shot yourself in the head right in front of them. That's pretty high concept, if you ask me.
It is. Does that sound like something you'd do? Yeah. The lieutenant's brow is furrowed. He's listening as casually as he can.
It was a late Saturday night when we, the Union of Moribund Alcoholics, were getting our drink on. Nothing remarkable about this. We get our drink on 24/7. Makes everything warm and glowy. I trust you know the feeling. One moment we hear the sound of a motor carriage revving up somewhere on the plaza, followed by a series of dings and bang.
Do you remember the sound of wood crack?
Naturally, loud noises pique the interest of anybody owning a pair of ears. That's just the reality we're in. Anyway, there was a brief silence. A gasp of silence, if you will. Followed by a real commotion. We heard the carriage careening towards the coast at top speed. Sounded like someone jumped the canal. We grabbed our brewskis and rushed to the jetty. Never underestimate the speed of an alcoholic. What we saw was a sight to behold. A beat-up police carriage containing you. Right there on the beach. You revved the engine and screamed at the top of your lungs, "The time hath come!" So, naturally, being the curious cat I am, I asked what time hath come. To which you replied, "The time hath come for Tequila Sunset, the end of all things." Your reality contracted. You jammed the pedal, plowed right off the jetty, and through the ice. We ran towards the ice, whilst you crawled your way out, miraculously unhurt, covered in seaweed and shit. When we finally got there, you were sitting on the beach crying. You said that your badge and uniform were in the car. It was too late to get in there, though. The carriage had sunk too deep.
In this way, you and your motor carriage have a lot in common.
Recognizing a brother in need, we offered our condolences and invited you to party with us, which you naturally agreed. We asked about the whole Tequila Sunset thing, and you told us it was your name now and insisted that we all call you that from then on. Yeah, I agree. Hours. It was an all-night drink-a-thon. Then, at some point, I think it was Sunday morning, you got belligerent and wanted to talk about Revacholian women. How they're beautiful and also whores and so on. How one of them fucked you real bad. After a short while, you crossed the event horizon, looked sullen, got up, and left without saying anything.
Wow, that's quite a story.
Yeah, I bet Tequila's a fucking legend around the precinct. You must be proud to work with him.
If you only knew.
You were pretty vague about it, but you kept saying you got fucked real hard, and that we've all been fucked too.
Please, don't open that door.
Saudi. No one's fucked me. I do the fucking around here.
Abigail!
It seemed pretty painful, to be honest with you. If I had to guess, I'd say you're still working through some shit. Beside your gun and your badge, you said something about your hope or heart or something. To be honest, the details are a little hazy. In retrospect, I guess you lost your motor carriage too? You told us that they were a bunch of fucking losers whose no specifics though. It was more about you that night. You said it was no biggie and that you'd solve it in no time. And that you didn't need...
A lot of cops go solo and hermit once they reach that level of alcoholism.
Yeah, you kept talking about how the coal mine owner... I didn't agree with you, by the way. The spectral hand of the market makes sure everyone gets exactly what they deserve. You kept calling yourself a goddamn superstar who'd cleared 501 cases.
As you've already determined, the actual number is just over 200. But what's a little embellishment between friends?
No thanks to the squares at the precinct, as you put it. It's a hard thing for a man to confront his past. That's why I avoid mine at all costs. We are saving the world.
Please! Please don't!
Okay, we're drinking. We're drinking alcohol. That's what we're doing. I tried to save the world once, a long time ago, with enterprise, creativity, and willpower. But that didn't work out. So now, it's a pirate's life for me. Whoop-de-doo. So now, I'm a fucking storyteller. Right. Why not? It depends, really.
The gleam in his eye. You might get scammed here.
I don't want it, man. I need it. So, have you got anything for good old idiot Doom Spiral? Classy.
Hey, Spiral Boy, you gonna share that?
Shut up, guys. I'm telling a story here. Something happened to you. Something happened to me, too. My actual name is George. But around here, you already know. I was once a reasonably high net worth individual. A founder/junior partner at a high concept creative services agency. When my story begins, I had just landed a major contract with an insurance firm. I used the profits from my agency to finance what I called a cultural incubator. Abstract value generation, value per person, high concept stuff. I developed the paradigm, worked within the paradigm, but the burden of leadership weighed heavily on me. So I went jogging every so often to keep myself sane. 22 full-time employees, an all-star team, a potentially historical set of individuals. Worrying about them often kept me up well into the morning hours. It did. With my trusty Sansarique tracksuit, I felt like I could conquer the world. But now dreams are worn thin, much like my tracksuit. One day I left on my evening run. As you may know, it's impossible to clear your head when you're distracted by the sound of keys jangling in your pockets.
His eyes are clouded. His dilated blood vessels encircling his irises like stinging brambles. His eyes are your eyes.
So I removed the key ring and put the keys for the front gate and the apartment into different pockets to stop the jangling, you see? At least, that was the plan. I was halfway done with my usual lap when it started to rain. The reality situation became very wet, very quickly. Wet, okay? It was raining really hard. I made my way back home and discovered that I didn't have the key to the front gate. I'd mixed it up with the key to the letterbox, which was useless. Naturally, the situation required me to climb over the gate, which I did. There was no climbing down because I slipped and landed on my ass. Reality was looking rather grim just then. Me lying on my ass in a mud pit in the middle of a heavy shower. But when life knocked me down, I always got up. So I made my way across the yard. Standing in front of my apartment door, fumbling with my pockets, I realized that I'd also forgotten my apartment key. I wish I were, Tequila. I wish I were. Instead of my apartment key, I'd taken the key to the office. I rang my neighbors' buzzers. It was late, and most of them didn't even answer. Those who did assumed I was trying to sell them something and hung up before I could even explain the situation. People are naturally wary of ad men, you see. One moment someone chats you up, 5 minutes later you've bought a box of edible lingerie and a strap-on. I don't begrudge them, especially since I was known to be one of the best. Just then, I experienced a moment of clarity. I still had the key to my office. I could wait out the storm there. But when I reached my office, I remembered that I'd asked one of my producers to change the locks that day. And since I hired only the best, he'd already done it, and I couldn't get in. Anyway, long story short, life spiraled out of control. I haven't gotten into my apartment for years, and my girlfriend left me because she didn't want to date a homeless man. The company, well, you see where I'm going with it. So, now you've heard my tragic tale. What do you think? Like nothing you've ever heard, huh? Me neither, Tequila. When I lost my keys, I lost more than access to my apartment. I also lost my leverage over humanity. I wasn't a high-concept creative director anymore. I was just some homeless asshole with a premium Sansorique Lycra track. You can't imagine what that does to a man's confidence. Anyway, that was all the story one bottle gets you. Almost empty, this one. Good fucking question, Tequila. If I knew the answer, you think I'd be hanging out on... I used to own my reality situation. My business buddies and I had our own creative services agency. I had a nice apartment, an even nicer piece of ass. But somehow it all got away from me. Now I can't hang on to anything. Just last week I stole this nice new jacket, but then I lost it too. The only things I haven't lost are these two drunks. My agency, man. The Boom Boom Room. Our concept was combining high art with the low... I convinced my partners to reinvest some of our profits in an even more high-concept cultural incubator called Thin Air. The artists were happy, the clients were happy. I was financing a group of poets in East Revachol who were developing a new universal poetic language. But then it all went to shit.
Sounds intriguing. What say you, Artcop? If it sounds like it makes no sense, that's because it doesn't.
I know! It was fucking awesome! Too bad I went on... What? You've never seen 100% Lycra before? Go on. Pretty nice, huh? This might be one of the...
Good God. It's nearly impossible to describe how dirty this texture is. It's like rubbing two jellyfish skins together. You feel about 15% less human. Randomized trials have also found Lycra, TM, to be associated with a number of exotic, highly malignant cancers. So you also have that to look forward to. And then there's the smell. But
Wow, you're lucky. He never lets me feel it.
That's because your paws are fucking filthy, Rosie. We're right next to the bay. You could wash them any time. My fellow members of the Union of Moribund out...
Hey!
Shut the fuck up, Rosemary. He's a cop.
I thought he was a cool cop.
a gurgling sound comes from the direction.
And yeah, you're already acquainted with abs. So yeah, that's basically us. Tequila, it's a verifiable tragedy. Say, you're a detective, right? Maybe you can help old Doom Spiral out. Solve... Yeah, exactly.
Sure.
If I knew where I lost it, don't you think I'd have it? Somewhere north of here, that's for sure. You could ask... I'm all ears, Tequila. I do. But as you can see, my fuel tank is running quite low. If you catch... Cottonmouth is keeping my tongue imprisoned. You too, Tequila.
Good to see you, friend. Do I have deals set up for you, buddy boy? So what do you want? I've got smokes. They're cheap. Very cheap. I've got Pilsner. Great deal. You won't get a better deal on that piss. Aye, by amphetamine I mean speed. Aye, that's what I said. Good, my man. Now what can I offer you? Oh, the system's been good to old Rosemary here, and I'm milking her like a bitch goat. You see, friend, man makes his own luck, and I made mine real good. Got my bought cigarettes, bought beer, even bought a bit of speed. And look at me now. I got everyone on my hook.
The hook? Where is it? I can't see it.
Hook 'em and cook 'em, huh? You want to buy something? See, friend, it's real valuable. Worth every real, if you catch my drift. Got it from a bit of a business venture. You know what's crazy, actually?
He's finding it difficult to focus his watery gaze.
What?
Keep him talking.
This guy. Oh, this is medicinal spirits, the good stuff. I got one of those scientific ampules a few months ago. Torpedo, they call it. It's supposed to keep a man from taking a drink. Didn't stop me for shit, that's for sure. 5 lemons with half a pack of butter and you're good to go. It really isn't. In a week, the goddamn kidneys started giving me all kinds of help. Finally, the missus took me to a private doctor's office. Not a charity, the real thing.
Wait.
Those arseholes charged me £4 to remove the damn thing. But I came out on top after all. The idiots left me alone in there. Now, I used to teach high school biology. I know what doctors use to preserve dead thingy. Like 3 cans of this blue medicinal stuff from the back room. Threw the snakes out and voila. What's left is this beautiful... 2 I already sold to these fine gentlemen here. But this last one is yours for 3 real, if you want it. Yeah, you thought right. Don't even try to sneak anything past old Rosemary here. The mind. Plays tricks sometime. Yeah, be careful.
Feels like someone set a mustard field ablaze right inside your nose, then drenched it in all fairness, that might be a true...
So, what's the deal, friend? Want the spirits? 3 real and it's...
That's a much more reasonable price right there.
Just make sure to enjoy that one, friend.
If you drink this, then you'll die. That's a fact. And that's why we're going to save you from yourself and store this as a sellable item. Go sell it at the pawn shop for a profit.
Mas eu quero cigarro.
My kind of guy. Here you go, friend. In the civilized world, it's a custom to tip the shop.
Ok.
Uncle.
There's
Consegui nem informação. Agora dá uma apagada no contrato. Ok, bora. Piada de falta. Sim. Ok. Vou botar em conceitualização. Próximo ponto que eu receber será para o
weather has not been kind to Lily's little sandcastle. The once mighty towers are quickly eroding away. You can see something shining back to you from what must have been a vast underground catacomb network.
The little castle? The reigning lord must have come upon some really tough times to let it sleep in such decrepitude.
Yeah, he's
The
funny.
walls and floors give way to the giant's greed, collapse and present you with a pair of ceramic gauntlets.
Congratulations. That's the gauntlets down then.
Yes. Yes.
There it is, a brave little army in your pocket. The first, you picked the best one. This soldier is fat and succulent. Get a load of this rock and roll cop hair, people.
Isso eu não acho.
The lighter's dark green disposable plastic. Safety's off. In your case, the safety is always off.
Having a well-deserved break from your adventures. It's what we all need sometimes.
Repercussions? There's a high risk of glory. It will help you concentrate. It only lets you concentrate because you're in blah blah blah. Thick, warm smoke gets sucked down into your lungs. Immediately, you feel a warm nostalgia fill your head, body, and soul.
In the bottom right corner of the screen, there's a cigarettes button. Cigarettes gives +1 to intellect skills. Logic, rhetoric, conceptualization, visual calculus, encyclopedia, and drama. This is good before a white check, but damages your health.
Cara, tu vai ficar 4, que porra é essa? Tá. Ok. Holy fuck.
As you fold your fingers into a fist, you realize your movements cause tiny little clicks, like dice rolling somewhere far away. As the plates the hardened vitreous enamel, at once sleek and light, adds a glow to your cheeks and a spring to your step. Just imagine what a full suit of this stuff could do for you. Remember, this is a highly specialized kinetic redistributor meant to stop bullets. Wear it. Observe its properties. See if there's a weakness in the design. For the day you have to fight someone covered in the same material.
Gostei desse também. Caralho. Viagem rápida. Cara, coisa pra caralho nessa região. bom que eu não perco essa dúvida. Ok. Maybe. Vou colocar. Para ficar nesse padrão.
Heavy wooden doors, more than twice your height, stand shut in front of you. The rectangular sea-worn ornamentation appears in stark contrast to the padlock, carelessly drilled into the wood. Nothing happens, only the sound of the padlock rattling against the door.
I don't think that's going to work.
The carving on the door is block-like and angular, like the church itself. Two large beams shoot downwards, sinking into the wood before they reach the threshold. The surface is smooth from the wind, but moist to the touch. This cheap-looking padlock is sturdily built. It shackles together a hasp and a staple screwed into the wooden door. The lock is adorned with a yellow sticker. It'll be easier to break the staple than the lock. Also, that sticker is interesting, somehow. You see a yellow circle with two X's and a big curve below them that looks like a mouth. You're pretty sure you haven't seen it before, but what the symbol depicts is clear enough. A smiling dead guy. The curve makes it smile, and the X's make it dead. There is something blindingly modern about this symbol. Its modernness puts to shame everything you've seen before.
O enciclopédia e o consideração sendo mais úteis do que a retórica.
He takes off his glasses and uses a blue handkerchief to thoroughly wipe them clean.
No. Looks like a dead man smiling. Suggests junior delinquent. I haven't seen that sticker before, and I'm not a youth. That level of conceptual thinking is not part of my skill set.
Ok.
There's nothing like the sound of a sticker unpeeling. Now it's stuck to your thumb. Looks like today was a gold star day. The padlock passes through a staple that's been hastily attached to the wood. Closer inspection reveals that one of the screws is not a screw at all, but a nail. The work has been done recently and is unprofessional, to say the least. Should you want to get through, it might be easier to just pry the whole thing off.
Maybe we should circle the building first and look for another way. The building has seen enough mistreatment. Yes, the pulsing base. A sure sign of junior delinquency. Somewhere.
There's something on the sea ice there.
Sure. Uau, do pé. Gosto do gostei desses novos. Bora lá, acho que vou dar uma olhada aqui na Wiki. Olha, chama azul, faz alguma coisa, é isso. Tá, deixa eu ver. Um Guilherme de Million. Tá. Bora de Ásia, facilitamento. Aí vai dar mais 2 man e aí coordination against enemies dessa armadura. Ok, não sei se eu preciso fazer agora, mas acho que depois é interessante. Parece que pode dar merda, né? E lá vai me dar mais um pain threshold e all side learning caps reserva. Ok. Também não sei se quero agora, mas é interessante. Mundo precário. Porra, porque tá em português aqui. The Precarious World. Opa! Oh! All red checks fail. Que é isso? Muito bom isso aqui. Sucesso. Tem que tomar 40 gotas de hospital. Tá, agora? Mas nem tá nem não, né? Oi? Como é? Inclusive aquele compressor volumétrico de merda dá pra até tirar, eu acho. Depois, tudo isso. Esse aqui, porque aumenta a capacidade de resistência para 4. Cadê? Até que pode ser útil. 4? Não, é bom. Uma hora eu aumento até 4. Porque o máximo é o bônus que você tem, né? 3. Então tá bom. Tá, então suicídio Krasmazov é legal. Que ele dá... mais um retórico. Mais um de retórico legal. E todos os white checks que eu falhar recupera um moral. É legal também. Não sei se é muito não. Vigorosa autocrítica. Cadê? Rigorous self-critique. Inteligência e psi... Rio moral. Interessante, é legal também. Teoria... Não, esse aqui vai tomar no cu. Esse aqui vai tomar no cu. Deixa eu ver até aqui, só ler o que é que ele faz. Deve ser especial, né? Não sei. Tá. Apocalipse Cop. Esse aqui, né? Não? Não é Apocalipse Cop, ok. Cop of the Apocalypse. Não sei, não gosto. Fazendo ali. Ok, não, mas não é legal. Esse aqui, será que é some kind of celebrity? Oh, a kind. Some kind of superstar. Menos um de lógica. Pra sempre. Sugestão. I don't know. Eu acho que eu vou... Guilherme Demion é legal. E eu acho que Krasmazov também. Krasmazov é legal. Apesar que esse rigoroso autocrítica... Ou não, a teoria avançada de raça... São quanto tempo? 1h40. Eu posso usar isso para passar... E... depois... tirá-lo. Bora lá. Talvez a teoria seja não concordar com as loucuras daquele cara. Vou dar uma olhada.
A little payphone under a yellow plastic dome. You could use it to call someone. You hear the tone. The machine is inoperable. Calling. Still calling. This feels wrong. Should you be doing this? End of tone.
Pierre? Is that you, Pierre? So nice of you to find the time to call me. It gets so lonely. Even the animals have died. Are you sure you're Pierre? Your voice, it's different. There. Chrysanthemum.
Her voice is drowned in white noise. You get a sinking feeling. It makes you look if Lieutenant Kitsuragi overheard you. To your relief, he didn't. Calling. Still call. Someone with a masculine voice picks up.
Hello, Gerard speaking.
Hello, Gerard. Technically speaking, you're electricity. No, what you are is a surprise. Get his wife on the phone.
No, but I got a feeling I'll kick your ass is gonna make an appearance if you ever call this number again. Have a good one, asshole.
Phone hanging. Disconnect tone. Calling. 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 Still calling. Still calling.
Stop calling me, man. I'll get you your money, alright? I just need till tonight. Let me work. Texas. Hey!
Disconnect. Calling.
I'm tired.
Sounds like he hasn't talked to anyone in quite a while.
If I could go just 1 month without writing, no, 2 months, I could regenerate my brain. Fucking liberalism.
The man disappears with a sigh. You do not hear the customary disconnected tone. Just seems like it did not have time to swallow the coin. Lucky you. The call went too fast for the payphone to register. You can still make a new one without paying. You close your eyes and put your index finger on the rotary dial, then pull down on the number, then move one up, and repeat the motion twice. Strange. This is not how you started before. 414447 1117361. Your fingers keep moving like a spider every time the ring rotates back with a little ring of metal. Yes, 451-67451. You are going deeper now. Into 451. You have dialed God knows how many numbers. The headset has been waiting silently to relay an ultra-long distance call. Your air fills with a crackle, the wash of a strange ocean full of white noise. A little bird starts ringing in there, not like the local calling tone before. No, a small ring in a cage of distortion, far away. A distant network of phones calling. Calling in the night, calling still. The handset starts slipping from your sweaty palm. Your breathing is heavy. The lieutenant is too far away to hear your yelp. The sea wind blows. Calling, 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 calling still. Then the ocean breaks. Out of the depths, a woman's voice emerges.
Hello? No. It's you, isn't it? It's you. Dora. Who is this?
Dora. The name feels like a gift. A gift that was meant for you, to make it possible to live. In the distorted distance, you hear someone turning next to her. Don't react. Whatever you do, don't react to that last. It doesn't matter if you react or not. You still think you hear a man's voice in the background.
What? Oh no. Is that you?
This is too much. You need to recede.
Oh no, not this. What time is it? You're not a revolutionary, Harry.
You only have 2, maybe 3 things left to say before the change runs out.
Oh God. Do you know what time it is? It's so late here. It's 4 o'clock, Harry. I need to wake up in 2 hours. What do you want to talk about that we haven't talked about already?
This is bad. You feel your right hand on the handset cramping up with pain.
Yes. Oh no, please stop. I'm in Morova.
22 million people live in Morova, the capital city of Grad. It is the capital of the world after Revachol was destroyed.
To work. The academy, where I work.
No response, only a sigh. What are you doing to yourself right now? You need to stop, Harry. You'll die. Your hand isn't moving. The headset hisses in your ear with evil sadness. She does not answer anymore.
Harry.
Disconnect tone. The machine ran out of money. You see a once bright mural towering above you. The signage has peeled off over the years, but you can still make out Feld Electrical R&D. A slogan used to intertwine with the loops a long time ago. Now, only a shadow of peeled letters remains. It says, tomorrow is just a whisper away.
Looks like tomorrow never came.
And Mikhail noticed the windows, especially with how there are no windows on the south side. This was to deal with. You officers, come to investigate the historic subtext of West Martinez? I'm Tran Heilostam. What? You must be Kim Kituragi, right? I was just telling my son about this building. Not a lot of people realize the historic significance here. Very rich in hypertext.
Nice to meet you.
Yes, hypertext. Young Carp and the collection of cultural hyperlinks. Oh yes, so Mikhail. They had to deal with monitor glare, especially in the summer. They still had vector monitors back then. That was 49 years ago. So they didn't have windows on the south wall. No, I can't say that we've met before, but I've heard of Kim, of course. Mikhail, say hi to the officers. Mikhail's a little tired today. We spent all night trying to run Orbis on his radio computer. Have you heard of it? It's a programming language used in Grad. Quite tricky, but he wanted to play this Grad-made adventure program. We've been getting really into verbs lately.
The man speaks in the artificial cadence of a professor or someone who's been on too.
But I assume you're not here for giant worms when there are so many real things to see. Just as I was telling Mikhail before, this is where the Coalition landed in 08. We could be standing on what is the most interesting landmark in Revachol West.
This man is your half-brother. You feel it. But why? Well, get a load of this guy. He really enjoys his trivia. The Orbis programming language was named after its inventor, Victor Orbis, a cybernetician from Grad. They run Vox in the Occidental countries.
Aha! But it's not just any empty old building. What not a lot of people know is, this used to be the R&D department of Feld Electrical. And Feld, which now sells ink cartridges mostly, was once a top dog in the turn-of-the-century cybernetics boom.
It looks old and weathered, with seagulls picking apart its stone and metal carcass. Bushy undergrowth has taken hold of the collapsed rooftop.
That's not surprising. Only a vestigial ink cartridge and ferrotape manufacturer remains. They started out as a midway electronics outfit in Königstein 2 centuries ago. After an aggressive move to Revachol, Feld became a global player in the emerging personal electronics market of the pre-revolutionary era. Still, Tricentennial was beating them in business machines. But Feld had an ace up their sleeve. Or should I say, they were developing an ace up their sleeve? I'm mixing my metaphors here. It was here in Martinez, possibly in this very building, that they developed prototypes for a tape computer. An elegant folding mechanism of rollers and ferrotape ribbons, portable enough to be a take-it-home solution. Revolutionizing business machines, possibly even bring them to the average consumer, which is a feat of engineering even today's giants, Rehm, ICN and ZAM, haven't achieved yet. Indeed.
The revolution!
Unfortunately, their moonshot project never made it to the market. Feld's move to Revachol backfired. The revolutionary government liquefied their assets and expropriated those very advanced prototypes. All of this was built by Feld, even the boardwalk. Wild Pines built Martinez proper as a resort for their middle management. Feld built this side of town for R&D. Actually, no one knows. No one even knows what a computer made entirely of tape would look like. But word has it, they were very elegant, exquisite, alien-looking turn-of-the-century hardware.
Buckle up.
10 years ago, I did a little freelancing, I guess you could say. I was a special consultant for an exhibition at the Womty Dumpty Dum Center in Vredefort, Oranje. It raised the same questions, and we had lengthy discussions with Paul Ockerman, who was head curator at the time. This was before the twins Keith and Guy Hughes joined the team, trying to...
He did it. He said, Wumpty Dumpty Dum Center, like it's the most natural thing in the world. What the hell is a Wumpty Dumpty Dum Center?
The Wumpty Dumpty Dum Center for Contemporary Art. The exhibition itself drew on Lagerman's notion of memory. In fact, I'm not. The Wumpty Dumpty Dum Center is a place you can visit if you're ever in Vredefort and are ever in the market for an exhibition space / contemporary art research center. But perhaps I should return to the tape computers. As I was saying, the device itself was very elegant, fragile even. One could write directly on the tape using a special chemical solution. The machine would then analyze the handwriting, perform operations, and project output onto a white screen. It was a beautiful, delicate thing.
Made of black film and folding tape structures.
Very, very cool. Though I understand the socio-economic causes of the revolution, it pains me to imagine the revolutionaries setting fire to this precious device. But so they did. The Feld playback experiment vanished into the fires of 07. Yes, the official name of the prototype. Some sources report it as the Feld Playback Experience, but those are incorrect. Who knows? Maybe it was an accident, or maybe they didn't want the technology to end up in the wrong hands. Either way, they used them for military communications, but also to write and send out press releases, the most notorious example being Le Décret de Mars. What's the Mars Decree? I mean the radio transmission sent out to news agencies and world governments by the newly created Commune of Revachol on the 7th of March in the year 02.
A short-lived legislative foundation for a short-lived utopia.
It's a beautiful piece of text, actually. A singer-songwriter I know, Charette, called it a love poem to Revachol on her political concept album, Bon Baiser dans le Lind. You should read it. Every local library in Revachol stocks a copy of the decree. I tried to get Mikhail to memorize it. Tried to. Someone was much too interested in worms to be paying any attention.
The kid takes a peek at the green and silver worm on the cover of the book, already forgetting about this part of the discussion.
Oh, I'm afraid it didn't end well for the boys. But this story is a bit too dark for little Mikhail here. Now, if you...
Wait, is he saying that we should just bypass the excesses of the revolution?
Tape computers. Yes, they even built a pleasure wheel, but that...
A pleasure wheel?
Yes, to lure in their star engineers. This part of Martinez was nothing but reeds before Feld arrived. They had... But of course, what else? I do have some money, yes, but that's not what's really important.
No, I mean, come on. You need the money. If it's not a thing...
Oh no, I don't have it on me, officer. I'm just spending time with my kid here, showing him around the lesser-known...
Not that he would have to worry about being robbed. He looks surprisingly...
I do some Lomantang.
Lomantang stick fighting is a form of martial arts originating from the island of Lomantang.
Actually, a great many cultures have their own version of stick fighting, such as the sacred Mabolo tradition of the Harley people. The name
He does off as he paints you a comprehensive picture of the history of stick fighting among mankind, seasoning it with unexpected pop culture references. Man, he's good at speaking.
But anyway, I'm boring you with details again. You were saying? Then I guess everything got said, right? Sure. What's on your mind? But of course. No, thanks to you for having me and little Mikhail here to pick your brain.
Pick your brain? If anything. The remaining windows rattle from a strong gust of wind. The cover...
No, I won't even try. You know, I had a partner once. They called him Eyes, because he had to show me things. It's that bad. Well enough, actually. It's odd how that works. I'm no sharpshooter, but I passed my shooting courses 7 out of 10.
guards the depot. The wind has blown a sand dune in front of it. The door hasn't been opened in a long while. You see a handle.
It's military, a service depot of some sort. The washerwoman mentioned a depot on the coast. She said it was for moving ammo and cargo across the bay. This might be it.
Jamais vu. Derealization. Jamais vu. The opposite of déjà vu. Not already seen, but never seen. Everything that should be familiar appears strange and new, like some half-forgotten day in your childhood. Only now. That's the feeling you've been having. And for who knows how long. You should go and ask Joyce Messier about this. What world are we in? This is a fundamental question.
What? Okay. Oh. Caramba. Chamou? Caramba, tem muitos pontos. Ah, mais um. Muito forte. Cada botão desse. Uma vez. Deixa eu ver aqui. Deu. Ih, caramba. Porra, se eu tivesse feito isso antes, eu que me parei. Eu isso aqui vou ficar uma bolinha. Só pra ver se... Agora foi o carro. Atrás. Atrás. Oi!
A shaggy-looking girl in her late teens or early 20s kneels on the ice with an electronic contraption in.
Oh, hello there.
Everyone knows drugs make you invulnerable to cold. You bet this one likes to party.
Huh? So should you. I don't know, some kind of a store? Maybe a general store? Look, man, fuck the hat.
Lots of feeling. You're saying it really loud, but it's not coming out right. Maybe add more indignation. More.
I didn't mean to. I'm sorry.
The lieutenant is watching the scene. The girl looks down, slowly curling into a ball. The words are stuck in your throat. All that comes out is looking up. She sees a grown.
This isn't really about the hat, is it? I swear to God, I will always wear a hat from now on. You know, you're not the only one with issues. I self-medicate. Crying helps though. Get it out your system, and then maybe we can talk.
Do you want to talk about what just happened? Normally, I'm opposed to discussing one's feelings, especially on duty. So, what do you think happened?
'Tis possible thou couldst persuade the lieutenant 'twas all a part of thy unorthodox method. But can thou
Glad to hear it was minor. Can you go on? Then, let's go.
A pane of Eternite has been planted, barely holding it up. It could fall over any minute.
It looks like a makeshift bridge. Could be convenient.
The pane falls into the icy snow with a soft thunk. The tent is just tarpaulin fabric covering a pile of stuff. The flap is open. Inside, 3 young men, all in forward-looking apparel, reminiscent of the sticker on the padlock.
Come on! Get in and close the flap behind you. The warm stuff's getting out. Sorry, we barely have room for one.
You go ahead.
I'm actually not, he thinks. I just dislike delinquents.
I'm sure you will feel right at home.
Sure.
You see a youngish man bleaching the tips of his hair with a toothbrush. He puts the toothbrush down and...
Hello, I'm Andre. Is the
His grip is strong, sweaty and warm. He's trying to project and inspire confidence.
This is my posse, Noid.
The young man with earrings looks at you suspiciously.
And Egghead. Egg! Together with a Cell Burger, who's out there right now, doing some seriously progressive sonic experimentation. We have many in the pipeline, officer.
That means they haven't set up a single one yet.
You see, we've been all over Jamrock North, prospecting for real...
Also for talent!
Yeah, thank you, Egghead. And while there is no shortage of raw, unfettered talent spinning tapes in
Place is a shithole!
I apologise for my friend Noid's potty mouth. I realise this is not how you speak to a police officer. Which brings me to the problem of occupied ecclesiastic...
An attempt to pander to your perceived conservative sensibilities. No person his age would ever use a word like, nah.
I'm talking about the church, and I'm not exaggerating. Even a place of spiritual refuge can become a magnet for all sorts of dopeheads and burnouts.
Dopeheads? Burnouts?
Well, I'm sad to say, that's exactly what happened. Sad because we were just about to put Martinez on the map with one of the maddest dance clubs in Jamrock. Nah, strike that.
Strike that!
And sadder yet, because the dopeheads and burnouts hold up in there with the worst kind.
He leans back a little, watching you with a steady, serious gaze, letting you imagine just how bad those dopeheads and burnouts really are. Good. This calls for an opinion. You're an expert in those.
They're spooky. I was hoping you would be the judge of that, officer. All I can say is, there's spookiness.
Also, they don't eat. People just want to spin tapes without them spooking it up. Place has bad signs. No one can dance like that.
Thank you, Egghead. So you're gonna look into it, right? It should be a police matter. Getting them out. Whatever's... All right, man.
Andre's obviously very happy you took him seriously. The whole...
Yes, I asked Noid to install a measure against more drifters wandering in. It's a temporary fix. Just...
I had to do it in an hurry. Not my best work.
Not long. Like a week, maybe? I'm super sure they're alive. I mean, come on. I'm at least 90%.
Somewhere in the ruinous past that led you here, there was something called exams. You may have learned the term involuntary manslaughter there.
Exactly.
The cage of the rage! Rough blade! Egg means the situation is monitored. It's relatively safe.
Of course.
Not all right.
It's as if time is frozen. Blam! Straight in the eye. Straight a stabbing pain. Tears.
Man, I'm super sorry. That was totally my bad. I got over it. I really am sorry, man.
Wow, looks like there's quite a lot there.
I hope that settles it. Or wait. The key?
He is shifting in his spot, uncomfortable.
We were talking about the padlock, I think.
$25. Okay.
Sure, man. Tell us what you want to know. The truth is, I don't really know. None of us do. I don't even know how many there are. All we've seen are glimpses. Yes, there's also the machinery.
This machinery is of the deeply mystical variety.
When I first scouted the place, back in February, it was abandoned, empty. Took some time getting the crew together. So about 2 weeks ago, we came here hoping to set the stuff up. Suddenly, there are all these strange machines lying around in there.
One of them has wires running into bowls of water. Wires into water. Never seen anything like it.
Andre, tell him about the feeling.
Oh, and it felt like there was something in there with us, watching us from the dark.
No, the other one.
Which other one? I'm not as in tune with my emotions as you are, Egg.
Felt like silence. Awful.
Not exactly. We've just seen someone who we think is a woman go in and out of the church. A couple of times. And we felt someone or something, like you aren't alone, you know?
It wasn't quite you.
Not human, as in a ghost.
It was this dark shape climbing upside down along the ceiling. Like some kind... Yeah, you know. The way
it was stalking a cell, exhibiting ambush behavior.
Odd. Crabs are usually marine creatures and not known for climbing walls.
Crab man! Yeah, totally. I mean, I didn't personally see it. A cell was alone that time.
You should ask her about it, but be nice.
There probably is no crab man. Don't let them draw you in with this nonsense.
You should talk to Noid about that. I just got a distinct burnout and dopehead sign from them. Probably jacked up to some snuff station too. Probably, very likely.
With a small surge of PEA, alertness fills you.
It means like one of those rich boy private radio stations, where you can listen.
Not that we would know anything about that.
He appears sincere enough, sire. You could of course be wrong.
We're getting derailed here. In short, you can tell to Noid, well, honestly...
This is a below-feeble attempt at avoidance. Basically, he is attempting to weaponize idiocy.
Hey now, I'm 70% sure. Don't let all that technology fool you. Where do you think the drugs come from? Sure. What? Oh yeah, that's a meteor and name for the founding party. Thought it'd be...
If you don't know what the founding party is, there might be a way to mask it with minor demagoguery.
Come to think of it, I've never really looked them up, you know? I can't give you a precise definition, but they're a very powerful religious organisation. And they have roots in ancient mass society. And they're the custodians of the Pericarnassian Church. Plus, they anoint the innocents. They, like, made the innocentic system, no? Totally.
The Pericarnassian Church is about love, and Nordic music is about love. I got love for my Pericarnassian posse. Love is the relay out of death. We dance. Love is hardcore.
Unity. Unity.
Make some noise for my Insulindian posse.
You feel it. The anodes and the cathodes coursing through you. Your big toe starts tapping along to the base, as if testing the waters. Feels good.
Your posse's like your people, man. Like you got your cup posse. You look out for each other and you party together.
And where is your posse, detective? Nothing comes to you. The world is silent.
Yeah!
Do it for the masses. Do it for the crew.
I didn't want to say it, but it was pretty lame of you to imply otherwise. Anyway, you got...
The one with the large head is still looking at you.
Yes. What? The what now? Oh, the old Ultra.
He's like an actor, looking to the souffleur for his line.
I have a major sinus infection, stuffy nose. We all do. Shit's all blasted up. Winter. Can't even breathe. Yes. What? Yeah. Good to have, bitch to carry. When I first scouted the place, I did some reconnaissance. Oh, it's the one they sell at the fuel...
It's like he's lying to you, my liege. But he's slippery enough that there's nothing for you to grab hold of. He nods enthusiastically. no doubt a little relieved. Okay, so the gist of it is, they want to turn the church into a club, but a suspicious element has overtaken the building. It's very important to understand what the gist plus, and it has to be considered. You can't invent the future of dance music in this smelly old tent. Imagine if you had the church. That settles it. Analysis. It still feels as if this didn't quite go as it should have.
As always, we'll be right here, waiting.
Advanced race theory. Everything is calm in the eye of the race storm. Your mind is lucid and bright. The mind-bending phylogenetics appear more distant and, to be fair, a little ridiculous. The great race mystery has cleared up. All that's left to do is verbalize your thoughts. Go and talk to Measurehead about your newly found insights.
Okay. I don't know. Lógico, mas... então 5 ou 6. Ah, legal. Vou voltar depois. Porra, essa música.
So you had a talk with Andre, and now you want to discuss things with Noid. Good. It's good you talked to Andre first. Gave me time to get a reading on your sign. Can't really talk to people before you get a reading. Yeah, gotta compare. See if we can align. I suck at socialising, man. Even now, our sign synchronisation is way off. But I'll see what I can do. A sticker.
Interesting. He wants you to describe it, though he already knows what it looks like.
Seems like my creation has found its way into the legal bureaucracy. What did you want to ask about it? Simplicity was brought to us by classical solarist modernism. And, well, hardcore is not tasteful or outwardly harmonious. It's a warning. The sticker, the clothes, the music, same thing. Not alone. Many people are thinking the same thing right now. I guess one could write an entire treatise on the thing. But what for? Nah. You heard me. The hardcore aesthetic is esoteric. It's not meant to be discussed with the law at this moment.
It's not easy to reach a harmonic resonance of signs without some...
Yes, further sign matching would do good for us. One way to achieve this would be by getting weird stuff. Specialised. There was a data processor, wires going into water.
What?
Gives off a spy sign. Or some fucked up...
The People's Republic of Samara is a product of Revachel's sister revolution on the Grand Isola. It's known as a severely degenerated rogue state.
Nothing's wrong with it. You should definitely be researched. You can still do sick shit with it, though.
The sickest? That's perhaps why it should be researched.
Most of it doesn't exist. But there's also stuff that isn't allowed to exist. Because the moralists think it's too dangerous for the plebs. Psionic powers, pale-related diseases, pretenders pretending to be human, folk rights, that kind of stuff.
A young man with peroxide blonde hair holds up a Harman Walshi tape player, nodding along to the music, as though you're supposed to be sharing some tremendous evangelical secret.
Hardcore! It's hardcore! Skibber danger. I am the rearranger.
Could there be a right way out of this garden of forking up?
Farei isso. Para. Tá, começa.
So, like, seriously, what's eating you, man?
Her hair is dyed blonde, with dark roots showing, and she wears thick black eyeliner. Most men wouldn't call her pretty. There is a manliness to her, a coarseness.
Oh, that. You're not good.
She's less prone to blurt it out, crab man, than the others.
Okay. I went in and I saw a woman next to one of those machines there. Noid calls it a mainframe. She was dressed like someone who's been raised by their grandmother, you know, strange old clothes. Had this absent expression, didn't say anything, just stood still. And then, you know, right behind her, a man crawled down the wall, upside down like a crab, down the church wall. I think the woman didn't even know he was there. He was completely silent. He stopped right before he got to the floor, then just hung there like that, looking at me, right at me. I fucking turned around and walked out. End of story.
Like a crab, you say?
It was too dark. I couldn't tell exactly.
Come on, she obviously could. She already went into detail.
Why? Okay then. They certainly do around me. My associates? I haven't got much to say about them. Of course I do. I just don't tell people about my friends and...
To the cops.
Me? I'm a silver bird. Don't know what makes you think it'll be any different later, but... This is a portable recording device. Actually, just one wire. I picked on it till the braiding came. A contact mic records sounds from inside things.
Your mangled brain would like you to know there is a boxer called Contact Mike. No idea.
Yeah, I record stuff with it. No. This is a contact microphone. It's for recording inside solid objects. Contact mic just beats people up. Same place I got the recorder from, the Elysium. Oh man, you haven't been to the Elysium? It's a music club and a synthesizer workshop on Boogie Street in Jamrock. Musicians live there, like real musicians. I once saw Arno van Eyck. Oh yeah, guess you wouldn't know Van Eyck, or really be a Elysium going kind of person. I don't know what that means either. That's cool. Sucks, man. Was there something else? About the contact mic, perhaps? The mic? I don't exactly know. Somehow it doesn't pick up vibrations from the air. The book said it only picks up structure-borne sound, if you like technobabble.
An entire litany spews forth.
Man, you are one weird cop. You do understand it all just sounds like Mike to me, right? Okay. Recording, I guess. I think I'm recording cracks in the ice, but there's no way to tell. Not without headphones. I think I just record. My boyfriend sold them. I don't know, man.
A lie. They were probably pawned off for something suspicious.
The musicians in the Elysium used them for making music. They looped the stuff, cut... Anyway, I thought I'd make some too. I don't really know what I'm doing.
Take this, your call.
No, man, fuck that, I'm cool.
It's okay.
Yeah, the boys think it could be a place, like the Elysium or something. Yeah, Andre and...
And why is that?
They got too much stuff crammed in. Didn't you see it yourself? It's mostly music stuff, like this tape recorder, but bigger. Yep, they were pretty. I'm sorry we sold those. That stuff is more expensive than I am. More expensive than any of us, really. Yeah, maybe you were right about the hat. Go ahead.
The device is cold to the touch.
Okay, bye.
Zapa, caralho. Temos a operação paraquedista. Mais fora da cidade por aqui. Oh, rapaz, olha só.
Someone has left an unidentifiable article. The cloth, if you can still call it that, makes a soft crunching sound as you thrust your finger into it. It's streaked with dried seagull shit and tangled with pieces of seaweed. A dangling arm suggests that there might be a jacket beneath the crust of filth. It seems likely that it was left in the surf until someone laid it out on this fence to dry out. Unfortunately, that just seems to have stiffened it into a shapeless mass.
Please tell me you're not taking that with you. I'm sure he'll be thrilled to have it returned.
The smell. It's awful and familiar. Don't be naive. Don't you recognize it? That hideous pungency? That something cold wakes in the pit of your... It is death. It must be. The lieutenant has already... There's some tear, an empty cigarette package, and a crumpled kebab wrapper in the trash bin. 2 empty bottles of Tallulah vodka.
A tragedy.
Whoever tossed it here was a heavy smoker. Red Astra is the black market version of Astra cigarettes, known for their high tar content. You see traces of mayonnaise and ketchup on it, as well as a tomato wedge. The wrapper reads, Shish Kebab Revachol. It's no older than a day or two. No mold yet. A man lies on the boardwalk, his limbs bent and neck turned at an unnatural angle. Right next to him is an empty bottle of spirits. In it, half of his body has slipped between the cracked boardwalk, starting with the right leg. The fall has left him.
Hold on. Lividity is faintly pronounced. Whoever this is has been dead for 2 days. No longer.
Another dead body. This calm now. Carefully. Just another day. Just another dead body. breathe. There's some dried blood on the metal bench, right where the corpse's head rests. The floorboards are rotten and slippery wet around the hole. An empty bottle lies nearby. A chewing gum wrapper is clutched in his fist. A dried chunk of blood covers the hair at the back of his head. An open wound. It's sticky and cold to your touch. This is what killed him.
I don't see any other major wounds, do you? Seems like the head wound was fatal. It's exactly the shape of the bench.
They screech under your feet ominously. It's hard to say whether the dead man's weight was the cause of the boardwalk. He could have easily disappeared into the sea through that hole, and you would have never found a 0.75 liter Tallulah vodka with its cap missing. It's mid-market spirits with a slight touch of menthol. The man meant to enjoy himself, have a good time.
Tear all around us. I'd prefer if you didn't collect them this time.
True. It feels disrespectful. Rybowski spearmint chewing gum. Green leaves on the cover. The man's mouth is half agape. The blackness of death. Stench.
He ate the whole pack, right? I've seen it before. Almost the same scenario. Even the chewing gum. It's always the same.
The entire boardwalk creaks in the wind as he's wearing mud-caked boots, beige trousers, and an old brown leather jacket with a bright blue lining. There are traces of kebab sauce on his chest. A cool leather jacket with a bolt of blue? Oh no. You find some sunflower seeds and a rain-soaked library card folded into two. His jacket feels sodden and heavy under your hand.
Good. We should take a look at that library card after this is done.
The man has fallen through a crack in the boardwalk and hit his head against the metal bench. Coagulated blood covers his black hair. One of his feet is still dangling through the hole. You have to be quite inebriated to fall that bad. Well over a liter of pure ethanol. 3 bottles of wine, or 1.5 of spirits. Or maybe it was just dark. His expression is dull, like the sea behind him. Drops of water shining on his mustache. His eyes, empty and wide, look frightening in their frozen gaze. Height, 170 to 175 centimeters. Curly hair, stout build. Age, approximately 50 to 60 years.
Looks like one of the locals. He'd have to know this spot to come here. You don't just walk, but that's just a lady.
A dead working-class man with a bottle in...
The woman you met at the book stand? Why do you think it's her husband?
Because it's the most working-class death you've ever seen.
The bright blue lining? Well, he's definitely someone's husband. Death by misadventure. He slipped and fell through the boardwalk. A truly unfortunate accident. If it wouldn't have been for that bench, he'd be alive. Oh yes. Some symptoms of acute alcohol poisoning could have definitely played a role here. Severe confusion, but I think that death arrived through head trauma, not No, I don't see anything that points in that direction.
Agreed. If this somehow converges later, why not? But keep it simple for now.
What about it? The deceased ate some kebab. It's probably from a...
Sometimes a kebab is just a kebab.
They'll seal this place off after the news reaches the coalition officials. Not that sealing it off would keep anyone away. All it does is keep the city council's hands clean. It does seem to be a pretty straightforward misadventure. From where I stand, I can see 2 options. We either take the case and follow the leads to identify the body on our own, or we report back to the station and leave. Alright, we should first examine the library card you found. Then we can call the station from my kinema. Let them know we are taking the...
As you hold it in your hands, it makes an uncomfortable crunching sound. It's a sordid, filthy tale, not for the weak. It occurs to you that you're not even holding the jacket. Why? Why did you think about it? Look at your hands. They're covered in muck. What? No. Then it'll just be on your The library card is folded into two and still slightly wet to the touch. The front side reads, Central Jamrock Public Library Card, issued to Billy Mejean, expires July 53. Billy is a unisex name. Could be the deceased. Whoever owns this card is an avid reader. You find a list of books written in blue pencil. Radio thriller. Stand a little less between me and the sun. The last one in the list is The Glinting Curve by M. Theobald. Most of these titles seem to be in the sci-fi genre. Some thrillers too. If lost, please return the card to the library. Dial 0050.
Good. We should give them a call from my kinema. See if we can learn anything about...
Okay. Vamos.
That patch of reeds over there, it's a great place to hide something. Kind of out of the way. So close to the water. You don't have a reason to. Nothing. Just a hunch. The hunch.
Here we go. Nice and easy. No.
There's a cylinder on the ground in which the man is arranging some netting.
Who's there? Oh, the police. Hello, officer.
Is that the police? Why are the police here?
Don't worry, Gary. I'll handle it. To what do I owe?
That's sarcasm. He takes no pleasure from your appearance.
Oh, no. It's all right. I'm just busy. What's this about? Of course. Thank you for passing along the message. That damn water lock is broken, and we can't go all the way around the 881.
The 881 is a raised motorway that separates Martinez from Jamrock. The labyrinth of streets underneath it makes it difficult to pass, not like walking over a nice waterlock.
Oh, good. We should really be getting back. Gary could use a hot shower and a warm bed.
Did he say we can go back now?
Yes, Gary. We can go soon. If you see Lena...
Sir, your wife is waiting for you.
I just have to do one more round. See if the phasmid has taken the bait. Then we go in.
For all his passion, this man is diligent and patient. You could learn things from him.
I've just always liked animals and puzzles. Searching for cryptids is a bit of both. No. Very few cryptids are ever discovered, and not for a lack of trying. To stay hidden is a cryptid's primary quality. Of the list of cryptids kept by the Cryptozoological Society of Chemney, which is 4,082 items long, about 2,000 have been confirmed as hoaxes. 2 are categorised as confirmed discoveries. The rest are in differing stages of discovery. Yes, a Chateauquan forest pygmy, who turned out to be an extinct species of primate, and a cave salamander from Yugograd. We cryptozoologists are brutally honest with ourselves, more so even than the public. With cryptids, most cryptids are, in fact, it is 0.05%. Ever more magnificent, should our search contribute to make...
He has clearly done his math on this. There is no surprising him or
It's not child's play, just because I have to traipse through the mud every so often. Real. I know you think one is a respectable profession, while the other is superstition. Everyone does. My methods do not differ from other scientists. I simply draw upon a wider variety of evidence. And I have more hope that something truly surprising No, as I said, I have yet to catch a cryptid, although I have come close. Close enough to everything from forgotten regional lore to newspaper accounts, like the one that brought us here.
He's interested in things that people believe that scientists don't.
Most establishment scientists only care about reputation and remuneration, not real research, and certainly not the truth. They're a cowardly lot, and both the field and basement archives can be dangerous places. Yes? Well, first of all, it's damn difficult to find, which is a good question. Being a phasmid of the order Phantasmodea, a ghost insect, it disguises itself as and I suspect it may have also developed other specialised techniques to protect itself from predators, or scientists in our present case. It's my hypothesis that it has evolved certain electrochemical defences, but I cannot describe how these defences work.
Yes, it makes perfect sense. You're beginning to suspect there's something... A ghost insect, he said? These people are looking for a ghost.
No, that is precisely what we're not. We are zoological. I'm expecting it to be quite giant. One known species of phasmid, called the Megaphasmodea zoensis, is about the size of a grown man's forearm. Typical rookie assumption. Insects are... Even simply catching a glimpse of the Insulindian phasmid would be the apex of mine.
Would be glory itself.
Very little, I'm sorry to say. No one's ever captured a specimen. Not yet.
Just out of curiosity, if there's no proof of its existence, how do you know it's real?
I know it's real.
It's clear that his obsession with the phasmid is driven by something more than the pure pursuit of scientific advancement.
By which I mean, I've heard enough first-hand accounts to believe quite firmly that the Insulindian phasmid is more than mere superstition. Yes, the most recent sighting was by It's the first credible sighting in several decades. Admittedly, it's an unusual location for this species, but with all the sewage runoff upstream, it probably doesn't matter much. I have to resist the thought. Such an extraordinary creature is...
He means asexual reproduction. The females of the species don't need to mate to produce viable eggs. This makes it easier for a species with a small population to survive.
Yes, the Insulindian phasmid is a very clever insect. That's why it's so damn difficult to catch. But as a scientist, well, they may not look impressive, but Lena designed them quite cleverly. So I'm sure they'll do. Yes. Simple. Attracted by the locusts, the phasmid crawls down the funnel and, having eaten its fill, can get back out. At least, that's the intention. The net isn't a perfect solution, but we didn't want to use anything that might damage the specimen's delicate locusts. Nearly all known phasmids are herbivores, of course, but we've hypothesized that the Insulindian phasmid might...
Inside the traps, a number of locusts crawl. A meat-eating stick insect? Does it pretend to be the reeds as part of its ambush behavior? This seems unlikely.
Thank you for your opinion. We have also included plant material in the traps to satiate. They'll work, I assure you. The predatory hypothesis, using locusts as bait, accounts for the failure of previous efforts by other teams, which use plants. We have given this some thought.
The traps do seem to be deftly and thoughtfully constructed. It's clear that...
Yes. What? And I'm eager to return to her, I assure you. My wife understands that just as well as anyone.
Come on, Morale. We've been soaking out here for days.
And leave the traps? Absolutely.
Come on, she wants us back. I'm soaked up to my nuts over here. We'll both catch reed crabs if we don't dry out soon.
Of course it's important to her. She's seen it. Yes, that's how we first came to know one another, in fact.
Needless to say, you must...
Suffice to say, it's long been our dream to find proof of the Insulindian phasmid together. I can't have... No. The traps need to be monitored.
He's dead set on this. I could go for some trap setting.
I didn't expect you to take such an interest in our work here, officer. Caught the bug, I see. It's easier to get caught up in the search than you'd imagine. There are 4 in total. One is to the south, on this little peninsula, by the boathouses there. It's very... Another we set in Land's End, to the northeast. The third is set near the canal, where you crossed, by a concrete slab. You should check at least one of those before returning to this one, since I just said it. This one's more of a technicality, but still, bring it to me at once. Just make sure the trap is...
He's not comfortable with the possibility that you'll claim to find, but he's like...
That's highly unlikely, officer. But in the event you do, it's made of musk and research chemicals. The pheromone should attract the insect to you. Wise choice.
I hope you're not buying this. He dispenses it without letting you touch the canister, so it would be precious like holy water.
It is precious. A single dose cost me 50 real to develop. Not that I expect...
Right, which means you too.
Finally!
Thank you for your help. Gary and I will start breaking down.
If it's more cryptid-related business you want to discuss, you'll have... But what if the information is vital? All
right. What cryptids precisely?
We would have to discuss. He wants to... You need to ask him about specific cryptids. Cryptids you've heard about from Lena, or his friend Gary. He won't...
A willow person. It's a long story.
Willow people? Not at all.
They're not people, really. Some argue they aren't really animals. They seem to have evolved. They're very, very thin. Almost flat, in fact. And can camouflage themselves easily. Wrapping themselves around trees and blending in with the tree bark. In that way, they're not too dissimilar from the phasmid we're looking for here. Gary and I painted an entire grove's worth of trees in slow-drying paints. It was a bright lavender colour. I was hoping one of the willow people would get paint on it and not be able to camouflage it after waiting in hiding for hours. I saw a figure slip from one of the... I chased it with a net. Not very elegant.
A lavender shadow.
I know you think we were snacking on funny mushrooms. It's easier to mock someone than to... Furthermore, I'm not saying it was a confirmed sighting. I'm painfully aware of what goes into verifying...
He makes it a real point here to sound falsifiable.
Confirmed. It's 100% verified and meets all the standards of... No offense, officer, but I'm not much of a pedagogue. I don't know what I would have done. Me?
Okay.
Not a people person, unless you haven't noticed. And I don't make a good lecturer. By all means.
Hello, I'm Gary. Very generous of you to help us out, officer. Yellow man. I mean, officer.
The lieutenant raises his eyebrow. Yellow man. Interesting.
I'm just waiting for my friend Morel to finish up with his insect traps so we can return to civilization. I like nature, just not this bloody...
Degenerates. This man respects authority too much. To see the truth inscribed upon thine own visage. Pretend thou art a paragon of virtue.
I've been tempted on occasion, but someone has to stay strong.
He pronounces Revocol with a hard K, unlike other people.
I like to pronounce it the hard way, the old way, the Vespertine way.
He winks at you, trying to relay some hidden message. It's a secret rite, a very fringe nationalist handshake, probably.
Not many Sealites here, or anywhere, other than Sale. Oh, yes, of course he is. I was just speaking about his connections. Let's change the subject, okay?
Sounds like some conspiracy topic. You might be able to discuss it with him when the lieutenant isn't here, if you can remember it.
No. I helped Morel with research.
After all this time with Morel, he must have an opinion on cryptids.
Oh, yes, the burning rhino. What? Morel doubts he's real, but I don't much care, because I won't be the one looking for him out in Safra Serai. A rhinoceros that looks ordinary during the day, but burns brightly by night. They have special ducts just above their shoulder blades.
But how is this combustible fluid?
The rhino starts running very fast to build heat, then stops, raises its head, and sparks fly. Yeah, well, Revocol used to be a flaming rhino once, a long time ago. That seemed...
Super solid argument, Gary. Can't argue.
The flames are not just for decoration. They are... During the burning rhino's mating season, herds of male rhinos, all of... Local peasants call it the passion ring. They fear the rhinos.
The lieutenant sighs. With that, it's clear the burning rhino is dear to him on many levels. Some even spiritual.
Oh, so that's what the RCM in Martinez is about.
So you do?
No. Nothing. He was some kind of mercenary.
He didn't kill him or anything, but there's something going on here.
My mug? Why would you think that? Oh, no, that's not... Why would I be calling to a broken mug? Okay, I admit it. You're not going to find me, are you? Okay, I deserve that. And I don't know what got into me. Stuffing my garbage in another man's property, I've been having trouble at work lately.
What did you do?
Nothing!
Here we go. Start pumping that sweet info.
I know a guy who works with the trash collection services, CS Municipal. He gave me a master key for the trash containers of Martinez, so I can use the Whirling's trash compactor to store my own stuff. Garbage disposal is expensive as hell. I'm sorry, okay? I thought I could cut costs. I shouldn't have.
Disgraced. No need for the histrionic, sir. It was, after all, just a trash container.
Officer, please, let me explain. I was only cleaning up. I live right across the yard from where he was hanged, and I saw him stripped naked. All the clothes lying around in the yard. Then I came out to clean up the rags because no one else would. I put them into the Whirling's trash, along with a broken mug, admittedly. Okay, I was coming to throw the mug away.
Right. It was just
Exactly. That's exactly what it was. Armor? No. I mean, yes. Of course.
An infant could see he's not telling the truth, but he's too scared to admit more wrongdoing.
I hope I can help your investigation, in my small way. Always officers. My mug? Why would you think? Oh, no, that's not... Okay, you're not going to find me, are you? Okay, I don't know.
What did you do, Gary?
Nothing.
Here we go. Stop.
All right. Of course, officer.
Eu falei assim, eu quero que esse vagabundo tome. Eu vou salvar. Tava aqui mesmo, né? Vai, foi.
Always officers.
Is he? He's...
Esse momento é um momento do ódio. O ódio antirracista.
Always a pleasure. Officers.
Is he? He's...
No jogo não, até gosto de falhar, mas dessa vez eu quero obliterar essa mãe.
Always a pleasure. Officers.
Is he? He's...
Always a pleasure. Officers.
Is he?
Tem chance, bora lá. Got a chance.
Always a pleasure. Officers.
Is he? He's looking...
Always a... officers.
Is he?
Deixa mais 3 vezes, se não for. Não fui.
Always a officers.
Is he?
Always a pleasure. I mean, officers.
Is he?
Always a pleasure. I mean, officers.
Is he? He's looking
Lendária, né? Difícil pra caralho. Mas tem lendária que eu consegui abrir a porta. E eu nem tentei voltar. Falhei uma vez, tentei de novo.
Always a I mean, officers.
Is he? He's looking comfortable enough. Maybe it was just beads. Sounded like beads. But what kind of...
Passar essa porra. É difícil, não vou.
Always a I mean, officers.
Is he? He's looking comfortable enough. Maybe it was just beads. Sounded like beads. But what...
You wouldn't be able to hear if you were wearing anal beads. Please excuse my colleague's humor. Working this...
What he means is, working on the case is taking a toll on you. And...
Of course. Of course.
Okay. I don't think there's elves around here. Opa. Deixa eu enviar um momento. Preferida. Vamos dar um quê? Retórica. Empatia. Tá, vou botar a outra quando eu for lá. Aqui vai. Isso aqui dá. Isso aí eu vou fora. Mas, ok.
There's a trap in the reeds. Behind you, a ruined residential building looms over the reeds, shielding them from the wind. They rustle confidentially, in tune with the pitter-patter of locusts are crawling around in the trap, confused, but...
Big surprise. Anyway, 1 down, 3 to go. Surely.
Cara, que ricaço. Que diria, eu tava meio coçando. Ué. Não. Ok, vamos lá. Caramba, até aqui.
A scattering of bullet holes is spread across the cracked wall, reaching from one corner to the other. A row of ghostly shades stand facing the wall. There are many of them, a dozen at least, their heads lowered and eyes blindfolded. It's quiet. No sound, no movement.
Parece os monarquistas matando os comunistas, né?
10 meters away, other shades are lined up in an orderly manner, automatic rifles prime. A gust of wind blows by. The coats of the firing squad flap slowly in the breeze. A single person stands on the side. Droplets of rain fall on the wooden planks, the surrounding sand dunes. The clouds block out any rays of light. A long time has passed since the moment of this fusillading. Rain and brine have since washed all the blood away. Not a trace. The abundance of bullet holes leads to 2 options. Either an inordinate amount of executions were performed here, or they did not use a conscience round, where only 1 soldier has the loaded rifle. Looks like this was a mass execution with everyone fully armed. A host of men, probably in everyday clothes, ragged from the conflict and covered in dust. They were not sitting, a common practice for executions in some nations. As demonstrated by the height level of the bullet hole, they stand, facing the wall. It's impossible to discern any details about their personality or background. Ordinary people, familiar, comrades, the forsaken, the wretched, who tried to rise against the horrors of the world. 7 men in combat uniforms and dark coats, holding automatic rifles aimed at the people. Soldiers from some side, but from which? The commandant, the one who gives the order. Machine gun fire crackling through the air, the lights of the muzzle flashes dancing on his face.
I don't know. I don't know who died here, lined up beside that horrible wall. It could have been any of the... Perhaps the ones executed here were the loyalist conservatives, killed by the communists at the start of the Civil War. Or it could have been the communists, put to death during the last stretch of the conflict by the coalition forces.
Remember what Trent Heidelstein said about Veld?
Another likely scenario. Yeah, it's very unlikely the coalition forces were the ones who died here. They were always the last ones against the... To be honest, if a coalition member was anyone in this situation, it was a commandant, the superior giving the...
A cold sea wind blows away the figures.
Tequila Sun. Ah, tequila. I knew you'd come through. Let me see. What? This isn't my jacket. My jacket was beautiful. I'm not taking a disgusting pile of hobo. Either bring it back the way it was before, or find a dumpster.
You know, despite the guano, it looks like the jacket itself is stain resistant. It may just need a good scrubbing.
Ok. Tem um item escrotíssimo aqui. Ok. Bora dar uma olhada. Deixa eu só aqui. Tá, aqui depois. Não consegui, não tem nada, não tem nada. Tá, esse aqui eu tenho que tentar depois, esse aqui eu tenho que fazer ainda. Esse aqui é só ligar pra Alice, acho que amanhã, né? Perguntar alguém sobre tatuagem, ainda não foi, ainda não deu, ainda não dá, mas já tem uma parte. Devia ter a lista das partes, né? Oh, esse aqui dá. Vou lá então. Esse aqui vou fazer depois. Esse aqui vou lá fazer agora. Ok. Eu faço isso, cara. Tá, esse aqui eu vou fazer já. E amanhã isso aqui. Delegacia e na biblioteca. Ah, ok. No fim da terra. O que é isso? Ah, fim da terra. Opa. Ah, bora lá, vai rapidão.
This is the trap Morel. The reeds by the abandoned campsite. The later it gets, the colder. Remnants of the camp. This trap is also
another empty trap. Always up for a good jog. Otherwise, would I still be on this case with you?
Ok. A outra é no Feld, no fim da terra. Caralho, é isso. Deve ser aqui, né? Por essa região, não sei, lá mesmo. Caralho, são os ilhos de terra. Nossa, sabia onde era o lugar? Era lá em cima, aqui não tá. Vamos antes. Sabia que pegou esse maluco. Eu ainda não vou hoje pra igreja. Eu acho que eu tenho muita coisa lá dentro. Coisinha marota, opa carne.
This trap's not. The reeds sway in the coastal breeze. They seem to be waiting for something. The wind picks up here, near the cape's end, surrounding the narrow strip of land. From nothing but locusts in this trap as well.
Empty as all of them. One more of these. Of course. Noted.
Ok. E aí, como já embora, já faço isso. Liguei. Outra foto. Pra cá. Tá com outra experiência? Já passo pra outro. Não sei se eu uso ou se eu compro mais um. Essa racial. Só com o lixo.
It takes you a moment. The trap feels light and sight. No locus. No phasmid either. But still.
Well, the bait worked on something. This doesn't mean it was a reed monster, though. Unless you see one in there. I just see an empty trap. Okay. But after that, we get back to our own assignments.
The reeds bend forlornly toward the sand. You see slabs of concrete north, in the east. The constant, distant song, louder on this part of the coast, nearer somehow.
Acho que aqui, tá, tem que falar com os caras. Isso aqui tem muita coisa. Acho que eu quero fazer, obviamente, a igreja. Mas, eu quero. Tem alguma coisa pra cá? Eu não acho que eu sei aqui, né? É, isso aí. Opa. Ah, não. Ok. Pode colocar bastante. Deixa eu vender algumas coisas aqui.
Hello. Sure, let me have a look. Anything else you're thinking of selling? Another time, perhaps.
Peraí, eu fiz a do milhão. Não. Tá. Ok. Mais um. Tá, então a gente vai suprimir. Vai fazer tá. Não, isso vai passar.
You're back. Good. By love, you did.
She is memorizing your...
Pleased to meet you, Lieutenant W. Freighter Dubois. I am glad to see a man of... What can I help you with, Lieutenant?
Paintbrush? Check. Heavy... The paintbrush in your hand is like a loaded revolver. What will it be, Desperado? Quite a few things come to mind. You've spoken. The wall will now silently repeat the message for a decade or so, until the sea air degrades the paint, adding another layer of detritus to the city.
Very poetic. Real poetry. Should we return to our murder investigation?
Abriu outros não, né? Ah, não. Eu acho que era o Lemillion ou sendo o Detetive. Ele dá mais um melhor. Ok. Enciclopédia passivo. Dá mais ideia. Não gosto.
This orange machine is dead still. It has.
Eu conheci ela aqui, Peraí. Esse é um nigga muito gente boa. Ok.
Oh, it's you again. Are you very good? That will be 7 real for one custom die. One universal die for Wirral Untethered.
It feels icy. Just holding this die in your hand sends a jolt of cold down your spine. Through the dark resin, you can make out a nugget of bone hewn from an alligator's.
I'm listening. Good. I hope it clarified things.
Cara, eu gastei R$7, ele só custa 70 centavos. Foda-se. Olha só. Gigangas, não lembro. Ah, tá. Não me lembro, não é isso. Sei lá. Capa por isso. Ok, esse não foi isso. Joyce, ok. Chave danificado.
The afternoon sun shimmers off the white on blue police livery of the motor carriage. Do something important? Something murder-related? There's always, this is a Caprice Canema, the Caprice Motor Corps follow-up to their highly successful workhorse, Caprice 40, and with its air-cooled, rear-mounted 12-cylinder compression ignition engine, driving the rear wheels through a 4-speed manual gearbox, the Canema is able to reach 100 kilometers per hour in 13.5 seconds. And the high center of balance is offset by a large battery bank mounted at the bottom of the cabin, feeding all the auxiliary systems and due to a quite steep price tag, it is very unusual to see one in police livery.
You want to take a closer look? 130.
I reckon that's a 7. Man, that's got to be a major advancement over the KR-18 GU engine on the old Caprice 40.
7.2. Supercharged. Yes. And
it's nice and all, but why so modest? Helium headlights would improve the range and quality of the visual.
Actually, I have a pair at home. Just haven't gotten around to fitting them. Maybe. Yes, definitely.
And means no. Inside, you see a set of steering levers, a radio microphone.
This is Precinct 57. How may I assist you? Hold on, officer. I've got Central Jamrock Public Library on the line and...
Yes, this is Central Jamrock Public Library here. How can I help you, officer? Billy Majon, you said. Give me a moment, I'll... Yes, hello, are you still there? I found Billy Majon's home address, is that alright?
They're too poor to have a phone line.
Here we go, sir. Rue de Saint-Ghislain, 33B, apartment number 20. It's in Martinez, I believe. It says here that they returned their last book just a few days ago, but I wasn't at work. Marie? Marie? Do you remember a reader named Billy Majon? They returned a Tybalt book the other day. Yes, it was my colleague Marie. She said that it was Billy's husband who returned the book. He also asked for this new sci-fi release.
Good. You have a name now.
Sorry, no. Marie only knows him by sight. Marie knows Billy. She's been working here longer than me. Sometimes her husband... Marie! She said it was an older man, and that she's pretty sure he'd... Sorry, Marie wasn't really paying any attention to that. Happy we could help. Goodbye, officer.
Anything else you need from me? One moment. Can you please describe the body? Age, sex, cause of death?
We suspect he might have been inebriated when he fell.
Any signs of violence? No field autopsy necessary. What about his belongings? Did you examine his clothes? Any information on the library card? Good. Do you and Lieutenant Kitsuragi want to take the case, or should I have assigned the case to Lieutenant Kim Kitsuragi. Please follow up on this library lead to identify the man. We'll send someone to take... That's all for now. Thank you for reporting in. This 57th...
In the cabin, you see a set of steering levers, a radio on a hook.
Again? I can't believe...
Can I help you? What is this thing? What, the interior decorating kind? You know, I'm sorry. This is actually I can fix it to the plaque and have a new bird in the establishment, I guess? So, I don't know.
I feel good about our work here today. It's all about the little things, like bringing people random stuffed animals.
It's not actually about that, but he liked it.
Am I ever so grateful to you, officer?
It's great to see you again, officer. My wife can't...
Oh, sweetie, I don't even know how to thank you for finding my husband and helping him out. I hope we haven't been too much trouble.
I knew it.
I'm not surprised. It's already getting out of hand.
Well, in that case, sweetie, let me give you a small token of my gratitude.
The little silvery knob holding the tie together feels warm in your hand. It's in the shape of an avian skull with 8 eyes. You could ask her about this when you get the time. It's probably There's really no point in manipulating anyone. She'd be only too pleased to tell you about her work.
Oh, I'd be delighted.
One cryptid, not a couple. One.
He nods and is cryptids. Let's hear about... Ooh, tough choice there.
No, it's the cryptid. Oh, yes. The 8-eyed Catador, the largest flying avian ever discovered, with a wingspan of 11.5 meters. It was thought to have gone extinct 3,500 years ago. Some even doubted the fossils were real. A mutation, they said. Until...
Mutation? All of evolution.
Until it was cited by renowned Gotvaldian explorer and naturalist Uwe Plattenkalk in
This renown seems a bit dubious. Your own catalogue comes up completely empty. But, of course, you are not.
It happened on a botanical expedition into the vast and unexplored Oamrau Canyon in southeast Ilmara. Dr. Plattenkalk got separated from his group during a the world's largest canyon system, sweetie. It's a barren waste east of the Erg Desert. And alone in the blasted desert heat, the doctor wandered eastward, where man hasn't stepped foot in over. He was lost, without any navigation equipment, and desperate. Every now and then, the bird would dive down to feed on an animal carcass somewhere on the horizon. But by the time... Yes, or rather, hunting. A bird that big has a lot of blood in it, and he was dying of thirst. For many days, Dr. Plattenkalk followed the professor, climbed up there with a rock in his hand. Then, the Catador suddenly looked at him. He could see it had 8 eyes, 4 on either side of its skull, like a spider. The bird was controlling his mind. It kept him from approaching. He could step back. Every time he stepped forward, paralysis. Absolutely, sweetie. Cryptozoologist.
Modern radar telemetry shows great promise.
This one I liked. Not only does it have 8 eyes, and is a...
He's sincere. He likes the audacity of it.
Sadly, yes. But there are numerous reports of 8-eyed bird skulls from...
Not really. It's just stylization. The way...
Very.
This one's very famous. Everyone knows it. People will be looking at that tie on you and thinking, that man is into cryptids. So, what else do you want to know? That would be the giant of Coconur. The giant lives in the most arid parts of the vast Coconur Desert in South Samara, casting a strange light across the barren wastes. A mirage or a psychotic. No one knows for sure. It is like an awful mountain. The towering luminosity of Coconur is a bad omen in local folklore.
Oui. No animal.
That's what makes it so peculiar. A species surviving at the very limits. There are limits, you see, to how large a metabolism an ecosystem can beget.
Great. This is great Gravity anomaly. Digging it. Digging this parascientific stuff right here.
Hey, you promised you'd only ask about one cryptid.
He nods approvingly.
Oh, you don't.
Ramblings. Nonsense. Your description of the phasmid is the most precise I've ever heard.
But darling, I did.
You were a child, my dear. Really.
Reflexively, the lieutenant.
Well, it was summer. I was building a racing track out of sand on the beach near a tall stand. I'm getting ahead of myself. I was 5.5.
Betoncourt got bombed in the war.
The strangest moment of my life. I looked up and one of the reeds moved. Not like a plane. I didn't know this can happen, so I reached my arm and touched the thing. It felt just like a stalk of reed, but it moved, swaying, towering above me. I tried, but I was only a child. There was mud and high water.
Where did you go?
I ran back home to my grandmother and asked her if reeds could walk, and told her they were looking at me. For years, it was a story I told at parties when I wanted to impress boys. That sort of thing.
We were on a date. Can you imagine? She tells me a story.
It did, yes. Like reeds in a gust of...
The way it moved, the colour, how some of its limbs were white. If it weren't for Lena, I might have given up hope years ago. It's no exaggeration to say that she restored my faith in my...
I thought it was a wonderful story, man.
But I don't believe it. A child left unattended on a warm day. Children make up
Our first, yes.
The glance is tender, yes, but tempered by something else. A thought she can't express, even to him. Interesting.
Not all of them. There is some white coloration reported, along with beige.
It's hard to say how big things are when you're quite small.
How could she? Who imagines this?
So she couldn't have made it up, or imagined it.
That's true, yes. I'm almost certain neither my mother nor my grandmother knew of it. You trying to tell us you saw the Insulindian phasmid out there in those reeds? Get out of here. They just give me a cider and ruffle my hair, and you're welcome, sweetie. I do appreciate the chance to...
Humpty Dumpty Dum Center.
I like this.
You're at home, stupid cop. Not with the art crowd. You hate them. Everyone hates them. Even they hate themselves. It's nauseating. An industry built on sprezzatura and sparkling wine. And, let's be honest, tax evasion schemes. The Humpty Dumpty Dum Center is the heart of this unholy symbiosis of aesthetics and tax optimization. And now that you've internalized it, you can have a piece too.
Okay.